Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs of all ages, Small Business Mornings is on the air. Good morning. I'm your host, Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. Now, this show is growing so fast. We're connecting small business owners left, right, and in the middle. So it's great to welcome you to the show. If this is your first time viewing the show, you are in for a treat. Well, I hope it's a treat. It's a chance for us to get together, take a look at one another, have a cup of coffee, have a laugh, and find the momentum that we need to get out there and build our small business. So welcome to you if you're a first-time viewer. It's our expression of our mission. Don't grow it alone. So one of the most fun things that we get to do is, just like Rhonda, morning Rhonda, jump into the chat and say hello and let us know that you are viewing. That way we can connect with one another. Two other things you can do for us. Give us a thumbs up, like, and click the share button, because right now, if you click share, everyone in your feed will learn about Small Business Mornings, and the more people, the better. On today's show, morning Stephanie, we have our news of the day. I am continuing to fight with Zoom, and this morning I went to battle with them for an extended period. I'll tell you the story on that. We have a few financial stories, legitimate, real old businessy stories that I'm going to share this morning. We're also going to talk about the hot new trend on the TikTok that the kids are using, and you need to be aware of it. So we'll talk about the hot new trend. And I'm hate watching HBO. Absolutely hate watching HBO, and you should be too, especially if you're a Packers fan. That is a tease. Plus, we're going to add in a new feature this morning. We are going to salute our good friend Andy Wines, and we are going to reflect on what we should be doing the thing today. So get ready to make a commitment to yourself for some activity. Good morning, Teresa. Good to see you. So let us know that you're here. Say hello in the comments, and let's get down to beeswax. Let's start with the news. Florida man wins mega millions. A guy in Florida, or a guy, gal, someone in Florida won the Mega Millions jackpot, $1.58 billion. They're going to take a $750 million lump sum, most likely. Some bass boat dealer in Florida is happy this morning. Is that an unfair shot at Florida man? I don't think so. I think that's totally in bounds, because the average dude in Florida that wins $1.5 billion is going to the bass boat shop. Do not pass go. Do not collect $750 million. So, okay, fine. That was an unfair shot at Florida. I'm sorry, entire state of Florida, but congratulations to that bass boat dealer, because you know that they're just like, oh, yeah, baby. Ooh, he's getting the depth finder on this one. Woo. Okay. Let's do the financial stories today. We have two real financial stories, things that you need to be aware of. It is easy in the United States to feel like, well, the government, like to complain about the government if you're doing business in the US. But here's what I'll tell you. We're not Italy. Now, Italy, beautiful country, went out of the country for the first time earlier this year, ate all the gelato, saw all the sights. We had a great vacation. Love me some Italy. However, doing business in Italy is probably not as good as it is here. The news story is Italian banks had a ginormous second quarter. Interest rates are going up, right? Boom, 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 boom. And they made a mountain of money. Well, regulators in Italy didn't like it that much. So they assessed a 40% windfall tax on the banks and just said, you know what? You made too much money. Guess what? Give some of us back. At $2.1 billion, by the way, taxed on the Italian banks. $2.1 billion. That is a lot of euro. And they said that the interest rates went up and you should have shared more with the shareholders. You made too much money. Their quote was, I can't say it in an Italian accent. I was practicing this morning. I can't do an Italian accent. So I'm just going to read it, because I sounded a lot like Mario and Luigi when I did it. I can't do that. So they said, yes, Meg, I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to talk about the event here in a minute. Redistributing a small part of these profits is economically and socially justified. So we can complain about the government, about how it's tough to do business in the U.S., but, I don't think that they would do that kind of thing here. So be grateful that you're building your business in the US of A. Let's talk about the hot new trend on the TikTok because it also has a financial twist to it. Are you on TikTok? First of all, raise your hand if you're on TikTok. I can't see you raise your hand. But if you're on TikTok, raise your hand. Unless you're driving, drive safely. Okay. TikTok is a lot of fun. And once you start the scroll, boy, you can stay in the TikTok for a while. So here's what's hot on TikTok. You've heard of inflation, right? That's so over. You've heard of shrinkflation. Well, the sexy new trend on TikTok that all the kids are TikToking about, stagflation. Have you heard of stagflation? Yes, stagflation, the hot new trend coming to a U.S. economy later this year. Stagflation. As I got ready for the show this morning, I thought to myself, well, I'll just come on and I'll pretend that I know what the hell stagflation is. And then I thought, no, I can't do that. I had no idea. So I had to look it up. So what the hell is stagflation? Stagflation, made up word, obviously. It's a condition where there's slow economic growth. That's the stagnation part of the word. Rising prices. That's the inflation part of the word. And rising unemployment. All at the same time. Stagflation. This news story that was out, Steen Jacobson, who sounds like he knows what he's talking about because Steen Jacobson must be intelligent because that's a hell of a name. Chief Investment Officer at Saxo Bank, which sounds completely made up. It sounds like the bad bank in a James Bond movie. Saxo Bank. They're coming for you, Bond. Well, anyway, Steen. Good dude, the Steen. He's calling for stagflation light, which is cute, in the fourth quarter. So as I got ready for the show, I thought, okay, I'll pretend I know what stagflation means. I couldn't do that to you. And then I thought to myself, okay, I'll pretend to know what would that mean to the economy? Like what will happen if there's stagflation light, like our good friend Steen is calling for? No idea. Sarah Deacon, welcome to the show, by the way. So I have no idea what it means. And it's probably not going to come true because only one dude, Steen, is calling for it. But I thought you should be aware of it because this is if nothing else, this show is a hard-hitting financial program to make sure that you're up to speed on what's going on with the economy. Expert analysis here on Small Business Mornings. All right. Let's talk about my fight with Zoom. By the way, welcome to the show. This is Small Business Mornings, the daily meeting for small business owners everywhere. I'm Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. I'm glad you're here. If you're watching, give it a like and say hello in the comments. Let's talk about Zoom. Yesterday on the show, if you saw it, you saw my conspiracy theory hat come out. And by the way, I thought that was a fine place to put the conspiracy theory hat. Should I just leave that there and when needed, whip it out? I think that's a good place for it. So the conspiracy theory hat is now on set. Anyway, yesterday on the show, we talked about how Zoom was using our data to train AI, and they got caught doing it. And the nerds that pay attention to this stuff really called them on the carpet and freaked out. Well, I thought about it and thought, wait a minute, we have a lot of meetings in the Idea Collective on Zoom. All the stuff that we're talking about is being collected and used to train AI. That's not a thing. So I thought, you know what? Dag nabbit, I'm going to go opt out my account from data collection for AI usage. You would think there'd be like a big red button that says, click here and we won't take your stuff, right? The don't take my stuff button. No, it's not that easy. It was so confusing, I decided to set a timer this morning. Just because I thought you would enjoy how long it would take for me to find out how to do this. There are no videos on YouTube about it. None. You would think there'd be some dude on YouTube walking you through. Not there. Then I did a Google search and followed the directions in the Google search. Didn't work. So I set a timer and I started looking. I checked their search bar and put in privacy, and it didn't do what I needed it to do. And then I'd put into the search bar Opt out didn't do what I needed it to do. So then I got in touch with the chat bot. On the website, the bottom corner, it says click here to talk to someone. Like, yes, I'm going to talk to someone. So I put in opt out, and it served me an article. Didn't have it in there. Privacy, another article, still ineffective. Advanced privacy. No, that didn't work either. So then in all caps, you're at this point with me, right? Representative, God, representative. And then Zoom, as if to send me a digital middle finger, comes back and says, oh, I'm sorry, your account level doesn't offer you access to live agents. Blink, blink. Now it's just like rage, like the cartoon mushroom cloud that's coming out of your head. Like Oppenheimer up in here. Now I'm mad. Now I'm mad. Before I was suspicious. I had my conspiracy theory hat out. Now I'm mad. So I start doing even more research. And I looked back into the privacy policy, and they've kind of updated it, but they didn't change it. They just updated it. They put in all bold under the offending text that Zoom will not use your stuff to train our artificial intelligence models without your consent. But I couldn't find where to revoke my consent because it's inside the terms of use. So I watched some more articles, and I did some more stuff, and I looked up, and it was like 8:30, and I thought, oh, holy cow, I got to get on the air this morning. I got to go. So I spent 10 minutes and 32 seconds of my life fighting with Zoom this morning, only to be told that they won't help me, and there's no way to get help. So what am I supposed to do? So I think we should put a bounty out there. Where's Jennifer Buchholz when we need her? This sounds like a project that she would sink her teeth into. We need to find out how to opt out of this because it is seemingly impossible to do so. So if you can find out how to do this, share it with me because now I'm peeved. Okay, coming up in a minute, we are going to do a new feature here on Small Business Mornings. We're going to salute my friend Andy freaking Wines, and we're going to do the thing. So we're going to talk about doing the thing here in a minute. We're also going to do a meme of the day that kind of reflects how mad my state of mind. And then we will have a deep thought conversation with the question of the day. So we're going everywhere. We're going to have some fun. We're going to share some rage, and then we're going to do some deep thought. That is all coming up on the show. First, and the last piece of news that I want to share, I guess, is that I am now hate watching HBO Max or whatever they're calling it now, because there's a documentary show that they film every year in football training camp called Hard Knocks. And it goes behind the scenes to follow the players as they get ready for the season. And it's always a different team. This year, it's the New York Jets. Why? Freaking Aaron Rodgers. So I can watch. I don't know why I'm hate watching it, because they're not going to show anything that makes him look bad because it's all scrubbed and sanitized. Maybe I shouldn't hate watch this because it's just getting me all revved up. If you're a Packers fan, you get to see him in the Jets jersey with his big stupid face, and then you get to see him leading the football team. I probably shouldn't watch it. I'm not sure if that's good for my heart or anything. But if you're a Packers fan and you want to see what it looks like to see that guy in another team's jersey being all whatever he is, that is now live. Let's talk about our friend Andy. Our good old friend Andy. Andy Wines. Morning, Patty. Andy Wines and Meg, who's on the call this morning, and myself, we are going to do an in-person networking event tomorrow night. We're going to downtown Milwaukee to Dave's Place. It's a free event, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're actually going to put on real pants, connect with one another, build some business relationships. So click the link and grab your spot because we're getting close to filling up. We have 75 slots available, and we've been adding a ton of people this week. So if you want to come do some in-person networking, you can join us tomorrow night. So I'll leave this up while we're talking about this, because this is a new thing I think we should do every day. The purpose of this show is to look at one another and to procrastinate and get ready for the day. Get ready to go charge up the hill and make our small business dreams come true. And yes, Lisa Rabel, good morning. Can't wait to see you there. Same with you, Rhonda. As we do that, we should say out loud one thing we're committing to get done by the end of the day. Because we all have something. We've all got something that needs to get done today. And odds are it's something you don't feel like doing. So what is it? We're going to salute my friend Andy because his famous phrase is, do the freaking thing. Without the freaking part. So let's do the thing. What is the thing? I want you to write it down. If you want to put it in the chat, great. But I want you to write it down. I want you to think about today at 5 o'clock, when I close, or 3 o'clock, or whenever you quit working, when I close the laptop, I will feel like today is a success if I get this thing done. What is this thing that you have to get done? Do the freaking thing. What's the thing? And I want to kind of talk about this on a daily basis here on the show because, yeah, I can come on and tell jokes, which I'm trying, and we can ask a thought-provoking question of the day, and we can laugh at the meme of the day. All of that stuff is good. But this is the same energy of writing something off with a client. You know, you go out and play golf with a client. Not that I've ever done this. But like you ask one business question and each of you look at one another and say, we can write this off, right? Yeah, now we can write this off. And then you go back and play golf. So this is the one little business nugget that we're going to do in the show every single day. What is the thing that you need to get done by 5 o'clock today? Commit to yourself out loud right now that you're going to do the freaking thing. And then when you see Andy tomorrow at the networking mashup, let him know that we are doing it, because doing the freaking thing is a great piece of advice and it's something you can do to move the business forward. So think about what that is. For me, I've got a, yes, Jeff McCarthy, golf with a client. You happen to be my favorite client. You are my favorite golfing buddy client, as a matter of fact, Jeff McCarthy. What are we doing later? Just saying. Gosh, I started thinking about playing golf with Jeff McCarthy. Oh yeah. What is the thing you got to get done today? I am getting close to declaring email bankruptcy. That's the thing I have to do. I've got, planes circling the airport. I got to land a bunch of planes in my email. So if you sent me an email and you're waiting to hear back from me, I'm completely email bankrupt. So I need to do that. So let's see. Rhonda's got to get her billing done. Yes, you do, Rhonda, from January to July. We have, what's Stephanie have here? Follow up with 2 clients. Okay, that have to get done. Patty, I hate doing jewelry appraisals, and I have to do jewelry appraisals today. See, these are the exact things that we need to commit to do the freaking thing. So do the freaking thing, get it done today. All right, let's change the mood up, because getting the stuff done, we'll worry about that after the show. Let's do our meme of the day. So I want to take you back to me fighting Zoom. I'm fighting Zoom, and I'm just mad at Zoom. I couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do. I'm like, oh, I need a meme of the day for the show, because I was starting to run behind. And I was looking around and I saw this meme of the day. Have you seen this meme of the day? What would you do in this situation? Like, you're the person that can say, which track would it go on? Would you have the trolley run over one person or have the trolley run over 5 people? Like, this is a big personality test. Which one would you do? Now, I was just done fighting with Zoom. And the second piece of this meme is this. Now, if you're ever able to affect real life by drawing train tracks, I do not endorse this. Running over people with a train is not a good thing. Do not do it. But if you ever find yourself fighting with Zoom and you're seeing plaid, you're so angry, this meme of the day is absolutely perfect. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard, but okay. That was great. I love that. All right, that's your meme of the day. Okay, it's inappropriate. Yeah, I know, sue me. Ask for a refund. Oh yeah, it's a free show. Let's do our question of the day. All right, we're going to switch it up here because this was a deep thought question of the day. I had a meeting, a one-on-one with an Idea Collective member, and they were just annoyed. They were just, when you meet with someone and you can tell that they're just not right. Hey, what's going on? What's wrong? What's bothering you? And they said, I'm annoyed because I have all of this time to work today. Usually it's the opposite. I'm annoyed because I've got things to do and no time to do it. That's normally how people work. But they were annoyed because they had all of this white space in their calendar today. And I said, oh, why are you annoyed? We started talking about it, and he said that he was starting to get stuff done and he was nervous about it. He didn't want to get caught up. I'm like, what do you mean? Turns out his business is a little bit slow. And he said this phrase almost verbatim. If I get all of the work done and there's no new work coming in, what will happen then? So have you had that happen to you before? I bet you have. Where you kind of sabotage your productivity? Because what happens if I get caught up? So the question of the day is, are you sabotaging your productivity because you're scared to get caught up? It can be a really scary place because you've had those moments before where you just have your to-do list done and you look around, it's like, well, now what do I do? And it can feel really odd. There is a weird comfort. There's a weird security blanket of I'm busy. Because I'm busy, I have things to do, means you can know what has to get done in a day and you don't have to wonder what else you should be doing. But when you're caught up and the business isn't coming in the way that it should, that can be kind of uncomfortable. So I totally related and understood with what he was feeling. So the question of the day, have you ever felt that way? Because I felt that way. It's a common feeling, and I think we can all relate with that. So I put on my idea coach hat, not my conspiracy theory hat. I put on my idea coach hat and thought, okay, what could be done when you're caught up? If you're caught up, what could you do with that free brain space? And networking is clearly something you can do if you're caught up. So you can reconnect with the people in your network and make sure that you're top of mind with people that can send you referrals or people that can buy your stuff. Susan Trumpler, one of our sales leaders in the Idea Collective, would remind us, great, now you can go do sales activity. Because not many of us make sales activity a daily activity, even though it should be, or at least she recommends 20% a week, 20% of your time each week for sales activity, which I think approximately 0 people do. So sales activity is something you can do with that free brain space. Another one is to connect or resell or upsell past clients. It's go back and think about, wow, I used to do business with Lisa. Maybe we could do business again and check in on the people that you've been working with. Another thing you could do, process improvement. Boy, is that boring. Super boring. Boring. Process improvement. Here's how I do something. Here's how I can do it better. Here's where the wasted steps are. Here's where I can improve it. Boring. Here's an even more boring one. Cleaning. Oof, come on, dude. It's probably why my office looks like the way that it does. But yeah, cleaning. Editing is another thing. Repurposing content. So there you go. Lisa's got it in the comments right there. Create content for future marketing. So you can take a show like this, flawless. Almost slipped into Trump there. Flawless. You could take a show like this and you could chop it up into YouTube Shorts. You could chop it up into a blog post. Wow, I said something on the show that maybe I could write a blog about. You could repurpose stuff you've already done. You could edit stuff that you've done. You can also create new things, like Lisa said. But then there's the big one. The big one. The big one. When you're caught up, when you've done all the stuff, resting. Bing. Resting. That's a legitimate business activity. Taking a break. Taking a nap. Remember in yesterday's show, what's the number one thing women want? They want a nap. So when you get caught up, you can take a nap. How great is that? So those are some of the things that when you feel that way, wow, I don't have enough new business coming in. I don't want to get all the work done, because then what? Then what? Networking, sales activity, content creation, connecting with old clients, process improvement, cleaning, editing, all of those sorts of things, including resting or golfing with Jeff McCarthy, which is probably my favorite thing to do. Golfing with Jeff McCarthy, because we talk a lot of business on the golf course. I mean, I can barely swing that I'm so busy. I take a whiteboard out on the golf course with Jeff McCarthy. Like, we do real business the whole time. We barely even golf. I've got my laptop in the golf cart, right? It's hard to read Excel when you're like going down the golf cart, but we find a way to do it, because golfing with Jeff McCarthy is big business. From Bank 59. You're a wonderful human being. Okay. Last thing about resting is that this is the time to do it. Next 3 weeks is go time for rest. You gotta rest. Big time rest. Because Tuesday, September 5th, the world is going to go bananas. Tuesday, September 5th, when everyone decides, welp, summer's over, here comes everyone you haven't heard from in the last 180 days. So this is it. We need to rest, recharge, prepare, get ready, because the world is going to go crazy starting on Tuesday, September 5th. And yes, you are exactly right, Teresa, that the downtime, take advantage of it, because it won't last long. You're absolutely right. Okay, let's talk about a few things before we wrap up for today. The Mashup networking event that we put the QR code up on the screen, that is tomorrow night. Real pants, handshakes, networking going to happen in downtown Milwaukee. It's going to be a great event. So hopefully you can come to that. The other thing that I want to remind you of, this show is now podcast. So if you can't make it to your browser every day, or you're driving around in your commute or whatever it is that you're doing, you can click the QR code that's always up here in the screen, or the one that's on the screen, and you can grab an audio podcast of this show every single day. That way you can stay connected with what we're doing. Okay, let's talk about this. Oh my gosh, you're exactly right, Aaron. Have you watched Billions? I was traumatized when Chuck Rhodes shaved his beard. I'm having those same feelings this morning for some reason. So if you have been watching the show or we've met, I'm normally wearing a very sleek, stylish beard, but I'm not wearing it right now. It's really gray. It's really gray. So I shaved it off for a while. It's a very summer thing. So yes, Aaron, I'm sorry if I'm throwing you for a loop, because I'm now aerodynamic and, ruggedly handsome without the beard. But yeah, it is a little bit shocking for sure. Thanks for tuning in this morning, Aaron. What else was I going to mention? There was something else I was going to mention. Oh yeah, the Idea Slamathon. Okay, I almost forgot. So we are going to, where did it go? Oh, the link isn't here. Come on now. Now I got to click a button and it's not working and I look like an amateur. Come on, Idea Slamathon, get in here. Done. Sorry. Idea Slamathon. So we're continuing to raise money for the Islands of Brilliance. We've got a big event happening in September with the Savannah Bananas. And on August 30th, we're going to do an Idea Slamathon right here on this show. So we want you to click that link and reserve your spot because we're going to do 15-minute idea slams, $25 a slot going to the charity. And the a-thon part is we're going to idea slam until the donations stop or I collapse. Which do you think is more likely? Donations stop or I collapse? Reserve your spot today because when we get the first 2 hours filled, we're going to raise it to $50 per 15-minute increments. And we're going to keep on raising money for the Islands of Brilliance, which is a beautiful charity. Grab your slot before they are all gone. All right, that's all we've got for today. I need to go calm down after fighting with Zoom. You need to go do the freaking thing, according to our friend Andy Wines, and make sure that you join us again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Small Business Mornings is right here where you found us. I'm Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. Thanks for tuning in today. I really appreciate it.